anyways, we're lucky to be alive in the time that we are in.
Yes.
Okay? But we have to recall that all the information we have now, we didn't necessarily have at a lot of different times of life, in a lot of different times when decisions were made. So like the learning about whatever being terrible for you is happening in real time in different eras. And now we just have the great ability of hindsight to kind of look back on it. But I think the NFL, I assume behind the closed doors, they're like, hey, pain pills are a problem.
Definitely.
And then whenever it got like kind of spotlighted into the big situation popped off, it was almost like they used it as an excuse. And then you're right, it was almost like a close. It was hey, no more. And you had a lot of guys that were like, whoa,
dependent on it.
Yeah, like whoa, what's going on? Same thing almost happened with Toradol.
Yeah.
Toradol, same thing almost happened where Green Bay never used, which that's why you guys don't win Super Bowls over there.
Bingo.
If you guys
could have had 6 or 7.
It's literally walking into a kitchen. Let's say it was a bunch of chefs were competing for a bazillion-dollar prize.
Guy Fieri.
Okay, Guy Fieri would be one of them. He'd lose probably to any of the other ones.
Whoa.
Gangster.
Bobby Flay.
Mario.
Salt Bay.
He'd lose.
Bobby
Salt
gets
Bay,
beat
I don't
all
even
the
know if
time.
he cooks anything. I think he just does the thing. But I have respect for all of these chefs. And Bo, I think there's a guy named Bo, something I've eaten at his restaurant in Arizona. It's the most high society.
David Beckham's kid does it too. He's
Bo's
a
a
chef.
judge on
Really?
Triple G, so yeah. He's
Respect to all the chefs, but let's just say all of the chefs that we just mentioned and more were competing for a bazillion-dollar prize.
Yeah.
And there was one ingredient that said, hey, every food that you're going to make is going to be better with this ingredient. You just use this, it's going to everybody would use it. That's what Toradol is. Toradol is like, it is the ingredient that just immediately makes your body feel better. And they almost did away with that. And there was almost a mutiny almost from the players. They're like, no. You can do whatever you need to do about concussions. You can do whatever you need to do about pain pills. I understand that. Toradol is not going anywhere though. Toradol is sticking around. I'm not just talking about on our team. I'm talking about that actually happened. The NFL banned Toradol for like a 2-week period. And then all of a sudden, quietly in the night, it was like, Toradol is still available, but it's going to be treated a little differently. It's like
I have to sign a waiver now. That's usually what happens. Everyone signs a waiver if you're going to get it.
Exactly. The NFL is like, we are telling you that there's no way that this thing that makes everybody feel better all the time is good for you in the future. With that being said, if you still want to take it, sign your name right here. Do I sign it in blood? Is this good for next year? Do I have to do this every single year with my knees? I don't know how you. Honestly,
It's a good thing I never got it because then I would need it. I'm sure. I'd be like, wow, this is amazing.
and you'd never get addicted to it because it's an injectable, right?
It's anti-inflammatory, right? But yeah, that's what I'm saying. I know a lot of guys that haven't really played games without it. They only know what it's like to play games with it.
Yeah, and I'm not just talking about from the Colts. You're not just talking about the Packers don't, but I know every team but Green Bay. I was so surprised when you said, nope, we don't do it. I'm like, you guys aren't trying to win. You guys are like the fucking Bengals with no indoor practice facility. Yeah. That's what I'm starting to look at. Well, they care about players more. It's like, all right, I can respect that. I can appreciate that. With that being said, probably losing a game or two a season. Sure. Because if I had to guess, I don't want to put a spotlight on injecting more drugs into people, but it is certainly a game changer. But the NFL has evolved, I think, in their views on things. And although it's probably never properly timed, not soon enough, I do believe that the NFL will continue to attempt to evolve. You know what I mean? To save the game, because that's covering their ass, basically.
They have to. They want the league to continue to grow. They don't want anything to derail that. And obviously taking care of the players and making sure they're okay post-football, I think, is a part of that.
Is ayahuasca legal or not?
It should be.
It's a good question
from that conversation. But, I mean, you see that already with the Guardian caps, right? Like, they're trying to do, that kind of change to, limit the amount of impact on the head.
10%.
10%. There it is, yeah.
Do we have any numbers yet? How many guys were saved?
Those are just
10%. 10%.
Those are just one-on-one collisions, too.
Well, yeah. If it's 20% one-on-one.
Double up 20.
If you're all by yourself, run into a wall with that helmet on, 10%.
10%.
Yes,
you run into somebody else, 20%. They actually said, and I think I got sources that have told me this, 200 million% was sold or saved. This training
collectively?
camp. Yes, collectively.
That makes sense.
200 million.
So that's worth
percentage saved.
On those numbers,
It's think about that, AJ.
Think about how many players are in the NFL and how many brains were just put together in 200 million%. If you take 10% and go and divide that 200 million. Think about all the brains that were saved.
Yeah.
So
It's unbelievable.
A ton.
It's fucking unbelievable.
Coaches should probably wear them next year then.
How come we're not
don't
doing
be
like
an
a fucking prayer circle around the Guardians? If you think about how many brains.
Yeah.
What were you gonna say, Zito?
I have a theory that the Guardians, you know, these low block stuff that's been happening. The Guardians are weighing these players down, so they're so used to being up now.
Could be. Could be.
It's all these low blocks now.
Let's get to a break. I mean, let's think on that.
Yeah.
I mean, the no Toradol thing though. That was that Packers Super Bowl the most impressive Super Bowl of all time.
All time.
The period that it was in.
Longest season.
Yeah, the longest possible season.
Boom. Heads just.
One
That was
bye
old school
week.
CBA too, with full go two-a-days from day one, full pads.
No, this guy's got zero cartilage in his knees.
None.
Tordo was actually created for this man's knees. So that people like him who have no cartilage or next to no cartilage and it's just annoyed and inflamed in your knees, joints, shoulders, elbows, literally everything, this will help for 24 hours. You're going to feel it afterwards.
Okay.
This is not an invincible situation. It is just hey, you're going to be able to move a little bit freer like you maybe when you were like 22, 23 years old, maybe when you were 16 before this guy got his knee surgery, and he didn't do any of it.
No.
Unbelievable.
Still won the Super Bowl.
Hell yeah.
You think it'll ever be banned for good?
Maybe this next generation seems to not do.
Are colleges still doing it?
Yeah, I don't know. I have no
If they
idea.
stop doing it in college and the kids aren't asking for it, then that's how you could see it go away.
West Virginia didn't do it in college, I don't think.
Really?
That happened at Ohio State?
I don't think I don't know. No, I mean, guys, if they're hurt, got something. Maybe they did. I don't know. I never did.
And I never got Tordo until after my first surgery in the league. So I couldn't just walk in and say, give me Tordo. Like you had to have,
Prerequisites.
you had to have something that was happening. But once you got on that list, it was a good day.
Yeah.
Okay, so I am able to
Massive
get.
point.
Okay, sweet. Pulling right there in my ass.
Do it.
Give me a full right there. Yeah, thank you. Ooh, a little stiff today. Working a little stiff there, Doc. What is that? Is that an 18 gauge?
Yeah.
Jeez Louise.
Diesel needle.
Hey, you pouring diesel in there, bro? And then all of a sudden you just start. Oh my God! I wasn't a guy that ever stretched or warmed up, but it happened much faster.
Touching your nose with your toe.
There's pictures of me with my fucking legs straight up. I can't even touch my toes.
J.K. Scott.
Exactly. I'm sure he's not. Well, he's at the Packers.
No.
I look like J.K. Scott.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, look at Hunter Smith. There's a photo of Hunter Smith outside the special teams room when I first got there. And he punted for the Colts for like 10 years or whatever. And I was just literally learning how to punt, like trying to figure it out. There's this photo of this guy's fucking leg just like hitting himself in the shoulder straight up over top. And I remember one morning just looking at it and being like, I'm never going to be able to do that. Like, is this a prerequisite for the job? Because I don't think I'm ever going to do that. That ain't ever going to happen. And I found my way, and I blew my knees out doing it. Sure. But it was fun. It was a fun time. Toradol helped, obviously, through it. I would not recommend it unless you need it, but that's what we're saying about the pill stuff. You know, in the Aaron conversation about playing on perks, like, hey, we're in a different era when that shit was happening than we are now. I assume nobody likes that it was happening, especially with modern knowledge, but there's a lot of shit we can tap back into and be like, what were we doing?